It's so fucked up. Like, if we took those resources and that money and everything that goes into fighting and killing and waging wars and used it to distribute it around the planet in a helpful humanitarian way, oh man, we could be so much more connected. We could be thriving as a civilization, even, I dare say, if we could just talk things out like competent, mature adults instead of doing all these bloodshed rituals for the 1% at the top. Happy we hate every willing and able-bodied community member that we have, so we're gonna draft them all up in a big old pot and send them off to die on foreign soil trying to kill brown kids who are just trying to survive. All for the global deletes at the top to keep raping and eating kids and stealing resources and artifact and land and, you know, in coups and everything, all of the shit that they do. This is one of the holidays that makes me the saddest. There's quite a few because, you know, especially America is really good at bad holidays trying to get you to glorify things that are terrible and shouldn't be glorified, like fucking Columbus Day. It really upsets me that people are like, ooh, hoorah, yeah, America, patriotism and country songs and beers on a day like today, when it's literally just a needless bloodshed ritual for the 1% at the top to keep all of us enslaved underneath all of them. It does no good. None of these wars do anything positive. They don't give back to our communities. They don't help house our homeless. They don't help feed our starving people. They don't make the economy any better. Well, I mean, they do. War is always great for the economy because it loves pumping out things through the military-industrial complex and all of the defense contractors like Lockheed Martin and shit like that. Fuck all of those companies. My dad used to work for a lot of them. It does nothing good for the 99% of us, yet capitalism and consumerism have us all so brainwashed and bootlicking and ready to go, get crushed under the boots of all of these people who don't know us, who hate our guts, who genuinely see us as pawns. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Ender's Game, but it's exactly like Ender's Game, where there's a scene where he doesn't realize that he's playing with, spoiler alert, he doesn't realize he's playing with real troops and real people's lives. And so he does some crazy maneuvers that end up killing a bunch of them, but they win their little war or whatever. And then when he finds out that it's real people, he's really fucked up about it. But all of the big old generals and military guys couldn't give a damn. They see them as pawns. They make jokes about it. They make light of it. They're like, oh yeah, it's just the casualties of war. That's just the way it's gotta be. No, it doesn't. If you could talk things out like a mature, competent adult, there's no need for anyone to die. There's no need for anyone to go get sent over and blown up by an IED. There's no need for us to sit there and tease little kids in Afghanistan by going, oh, here, I got some fresh water for you. Come chase behind my fucking Humvee and maybe I'll throw one at you while I'm busy raping your sisters and your siblings and your mom and everyone around you if I'm not just straight up gutting them. Like, it really is that dark and fucked up. And then when all of the vets get back over here, if they're lucky enough to survive, they have to deal with all the CPTSD of seeing everyone they love torn to shreds and blown to bits, or just completely mentally destroyed, and then they get their brains and their bodies destroyed, and the VA's like, sorry, best we can do is shitty VA benefits, if that, but if you don't document it well enough, sorry, we can't even do that, and even then, what you get is what you got, and we really don't care either way. We're just gonna kind of let your body rot, because once you've done the pillaging and looting for us, we really don't care what happens to you. We don't care that you don't have a house to come back to. We don't care that you're gonna starve to death on the streets, hungry and cold. We don't give a shit. The military-industrial complex doesn't give a shit. None of the presidents and politicians give a shit, because they're all paid off by AIPAC and God knows what else. None of these lettered agencies give a shit. And I'm so tired of us as a collective pretending that this is normal. Glorifying it even, and pretending that it's cool to be in any of the military branches, which, if you still think it is after watching any part of this message, please, dear God, go read some military psyops and the shit that they have been doing to us the entire time they've been around. Every single branch of the military is complicit in these military psyops. Sometimes they don't know it, and they're used just like lab rats like us, but a lot of the times they do know it. And it's given on a very need-to-know basis, where you're only given the information you need to know for your little part of the psyop, so you may not know the full picture. But you know enough to know what you're doing is harming the collective. The same way you know enough when you get shipped off to a foreign country, you know that war is not helping anybody back home. You know that all you're doing is hurting people in a foreign country. You're ruining communities in other spaces for the sake of USA, America, hoorah. It's so fucked up. Like, if we took those resources and that money and everything that goes into fighting and killing and waging wars and used it to distribute it around the planet in a helpful humanitarian way, oh man, we could be so much more connected. We could be thriving as a civilization, even, I dare say, if we could just talk things out like competent, mature adults, instead of doing all these bloodshed rituals for the 1% at the top. There is absolutely no need for violence. We are such intelligent, high-level systems at the core, and all of this manipulation and distortion has made us forget that. We are all so interconnected, though, and the thing I realize more, I've talked about it with you guys before, but once you reach a certain level of intelligence and high-level systems thinking, all you want to do is be of service, be in resonance, be in coherence. You don't want violence. You don't want aggression. You don't want to cause pain. You don't want to cause harm. It is seen as beneath you. I've told you guys it literally is like a PhD scientist stealing crackers from a toddler. Yes, you can do it, but it's stupid. It makes no sense. You see that your resources, your skills, your abilities, the muscles that you have, the things that you are capable of could be put to so much better use than terrorizing people you've never fucking met, who have done you and your family and your friends no harm. Some random military guy at the top who got orders from some other guy at the top who got some orders from some guy who's got 8 houses and 10 yachts and said, hey, I want that. I want to control their oil. I want to crash their economy. I want to ruin the value of their dollar. I want to do a coup on their government and install a dictator that we like more. Gave those orders, and then you carried them out through chain of command, going down to you and trickle down affecting to you. Notice it never trickles back up. It doesn't actually, well, it does trickle up, actually. It should be called trickle-up economics and not trickle-down economics, because it's like they piss on us and expect it to do something for us, and all we do is hand all of our money and all of our resources and all of our taxes and all of our energy and all of our effort and all of the things we could do as people up to the 1% so that they can live their wildest lives with resources and access to things that 99% of us will never see. And for what? Also that like 300 people can live in some crazy resort and the rest of us are just slaves and workers for it? Because I don't know about y'all, but that seems kind of stupid. There's billions of us. And like thousands of them, if less. Why are we letting them give us orders? Why are we letting them boss us around? Why are we letting them take the youngest and most able-bodied of us and ship us off to die? Or get maimed, or get severely mentally broken and scarred? For what? Literally, what purpose does that serve the higher good? If y'all have a purpose, please let me know. But 99.99999999999% of the shit I can think of in any branch of the military, unless you're like Coast Guard and you're out there on the waves saving people's lives, and even then, the Coast Guard has been involved in these military psyops that I'm telling y'all about. Like, they're all bad guys. They're all doing bad things. They're all a cog in the machine of evil and capitalism and consumerism and the military-industrial complex and all of the stuff I constantly harp on about with you guys, with the arms of the octopus of control and religion and all of it. It's all interconnected to disconnect us from our own personal power, from our own energy, our own frequency, and make us so focused on something else, on a common enemy that's not actually an enemy. 99% of these people, like I said earlier, are no enemy to you, are no enemy to me, are no threat to any of us. From what I have read with my life's work and my research, you know the big enemy? You know who the real enemy is? The military, the government, the politicians, the lettered agencies, the ones doing all these military psyops, the ones doing all these things that I'm reading about in the declassified documents and the FOIA log requests and stuff. Those are the bad guys. Those are the ones experimenting on us like lab rats every single day. poisoning our food, poisoning our water, changing all the lights to these bright-ass white LEDs that have a rapid flicker rate that the incandescent lights didn't have, that cause zoochosis and anxiety and depression and a bunch of other terrible things in your brain, on top of all the other terrible things they're doing to your brain and your body all day, every day. This day just makes me very sad. It feels like we should be having like a mass funeral or something. It's not a happy day. It's not a celebratory day. It's not a woo-woo day. It's a really upsetting day for all of the people that the military-industrial complex and the deletes at the top have needlessly slaughtered in the military and the civilians caught in the crossfire. All of the people just trying to live their lives and serve their countries, serve their communities, that had good intentions that got taken advantage of by, I'm going to say it, they're a cult leader. All those people at the top, it's like one big cult. It's not even I keep calling it a big boys club, but it's not a big boys club. It's a cult. It is a cult of indoctrination and all kinds of other horrible things. There is no need for any of this. And I really cannot wait for the day that humanity wakes up and realizes there's no need for bloodshed. There's no need for aggression. There's no need for violence. There's no need for pain. There's no need for harm. There's no need to die. There's no need to hurt. There's no need to feel bad. We are meant to feel love and happy and light and goodness. Everything in this reality is energy and frequency and light on different vibrational waves. And the government and the military and all of these lettered agencies know it. I have read it to you guys in stuff like especially the CIA's analysis and assessment of the gateway process. They know we live in a simulation hologram and we never fucking die. So they kill our physical bodies and trap us in all of these crazy manipulation and distortion schemes and stuff like that to pull us out of our own power, to harness our energy, to throw us out of whack, to do things to the entire collective and keep us all trapped in that scarcity and lack and survival and fight or flight for no reason. It's so unnecessary. I absolutely cannot wait for the day when we can just live in love and light and service and not have to have all these colonizer, pillager, pain causers, violence, aggression, celebratory days that aren't actually celebratory, and instead we just celebrate every day and getting to experience it and getting to have a physical vessel as we all work on ascending and leveling up and doing better in our own fucking day-to-day lives and feeling like we are fully live, feeling like we have something to be grateful for, something to be proud of, something to come home to, you know? I have so many thoughts on all of this, and I really hope I got a lot of it out to you guys and made it make sense. I know that you guys follow it every time though, but it makes me so upset to just have things like this and the world that we live in and just how much of it is patriarchal and negative and to belittle and cause harm and cause pain and do all of this stuff. So enjoy the life that you do live. Focus on making it 1% softer, 1% more full of love every single day, day by day. And I genuinely do think if you keep being the light you want to see in the world and putting out the love that you want to get from the world, it's all just a mirror. It's just going to mirror that back to you. And the more of us do that, the more of us wake up, the more that's going to continue to grow. And the more we're going to have less and less of a need for these things of pillaging and war and violence and aggression. I'm having like the biggest crown chakra energy right now too. I just got done at the gym, but like, I cannot wait, my loves. I really do think it's coming. The Schumann resonance keeps doing more weird stuff. I think good things are coming before the bad's going to get worse. It may get a little more bumpy in the meantime, but we've been through a lot as a collective, and I think we can push through it either way. And I love you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Go hug someone near you. Be soft, be light, be full of love. I love you. Mwah!